Hey guys, welcome back. So for those that don't know, I just recently had to replace my all-season / summer tires for the factory wheels. I do live here in Canada, and I enjoy having winter tires just to really own those wintry roads and have some fun. So my summer tires have lasted quite a long time, so they needed to be replaced. And typically what I do is I stick with Michelin, just keep it the way it was intended. Michelin tires are always great, or usually. And but I have known about Nokian for quite a while. Nokian. They are a Finnish tire company that makes amazing winter tires. I've been running the Nokian Hakkapaletas for 10-15 years, give or take, on all my vehicles. So I've loved those for a long time. And during the shopping process, I discovered that they actually have a high performance all-season tire from Nokian called the Surpass AS01. And I decided, after doing my due diligence and asking around, that they would be kind of equivalent to the Primacies or even the Michelin Pilot. So, despite, a little bit of, bouncing around in my head, I decided to go with a tire that really there was only one kind of review of and a bunch of, press reviews from the track. So thought I'd roll the dice and trust the brand that I've trusted with my winter. So here's kind of my thoughts on it, and I think it's a great option for really any vehicle, but this one specifically, it's, I think, better than the stock Primacies from Michelin, and we'll kind of get into some of those details. So forgive me, my car's a little dirty, but has been quite rainy here. But there's an idea of kind of what the tread pattern looks like on these guys. You can kind of see very similar to the Michelins, and I would argue comparable in many ways, and possibly exceeding. But it's a good looking tire, and driven it now for a few months, and I will say it balanced really nice, very smooth, very quiet, and I have had no regrets so far. Now there is the question of longevity that will be answered over time that I obviously can't answer now. There is some cool features to these things, and I'll actually show you over here. You can see right in there that it gives you an idea of your tread wear as you go on. Now, I think there's some other tires that do this, and there's even a raindrop there. So once that disappears, you're probably, not having ideal grip in rain. And then obviously it'll give you your tire wear over time, so you know when they need to be replaced at a glance. But so far, I'm actually extremely impressed with the tire from Nokian, and not many people know about these things. These Surpass AS01s are really quite impressive from that perspective. So let's get in the car and see how it sounds in there, and give you kind of some impressions while I drive. All right, so in the car, I'm in a industrial area here, and so I can kind of do a little bit of weaving and waving. So once the motor quiets down, once we kind of get cruising, you can see very quiet, very smooth. Obviously you can't feel the smoothness, but let's kind of go around this corner. Very responsive, very smooth feeling, confidence inspiring. Honestly, very impressive tire. Let's take this corner decently here. Not even a chirp. Just super smooth, super quiet, really good performance. And now it has been raining for a while, and today is quite dry, but I will say that I've tested them out in there as well in the rain and wet roads, and they do not even slip a little bit. I mean, it's rain, it's not going to be perfect, but they really do handle very well in the rain. Took some corners, some highway driving, and kind of accelerating on wet pavement, and it really takes off. Doesn't even spin a wheel. No, obviously the SHL wheel drive has something to do with that as well, but it really has been a joy, and I really don't regret making the choice to go with Michelin, with the Nokians, away from Michelin at all. I guess the time will tell if the longevity is there. That's the final piece that I don't know the answer to, and that was my biggest kind of question. I'm sure, there's lots of decent tires out there, but the question is, how long are they going to last? So again, just to kind of summarize, typically a Michelin guy, takes a lot to sway me. Kind of decided to roll the dice on these things and don't regret it at all. And honestly, I think price-wise, compared to replacing the premises or somewhere thereabouts, for me it was about 600 Canadian less as well. So there's really good news on both fronts there. So would I suggest them for you? I really think I would, honestly. There's, save a little bit of money. They're a very popular tire brand in Europe and obviously Finland, where it's from, but not quite as known down here in North America or in Canada. I've been spreading the good word on the Nokian Hakkapeliitta tires, which I think they're at R5s now, which again, I would suggest are the best winter tires that money can buy without studs. And I'm not going to make any bold statements that these are better than every, all season tire out there or anything, but this is definitely a great option for, keeping a few bucks in your pocket, getting that Michelin performance just because they don't have the cachet of the name. And again, this isn't paid for by anyone. It's just wanted to share my opinion, because while I was shopping for these tires, there really wasn't much out there aside from kind of paid promotion and, on their track day. And then one other guy, which, respect to him because he helped made my choice as well. But yeah, I would highly suggest throwing these on really any car. I've seen a bunch of different sports cars throwing them on as well, that, they need that all season depending on where you live and where it makes sense. They do claim, you should be okay in a light snow. That's fine. Personally, when it starts snowing, I get the winters on. But it's nice to know if I was out in a pinch, I could make it home, somewhat safely. But yeah, I wouldn't bank on running these through winter, although they are all, quote, all season. So who am I to say? But that's not how I roll. So anyways, the Nokian Surpass AS01 tires are an ultra high performance all season is what they bill it as. And I think it's a great option for, your sedans. I think they come in multiple different options. Here in Canada, I think you're limited to certain dealers that sell Nokian, Cal Tire being one of them, but they recently, over the past few years, have expanded to other shops that can offer them. And so sometimes they're hard to find if you don't go to the right place. But anyways, that's my opinion. Feel free to let me know what you guys think. Do you guys typically go with, Michelins or Bridgestones, or would you consider going to Nokian? I love both my sets of tires now. They're both Nokian, so I'm obviously a little biased now, but my Michelin Primacies really did well. They lasted longer than they should have. And hopefully these things can follow suit. Anyways, thanks for watching. Appreciate it.